Hi everyone. Thank you so much for listening to episode 26. Is it 26? 26
Yes.
of Spooky Mountain.
Yeah.
You have Steph and you have Jordi, and we're gonna tell you some spooky shit. Well, I'm presuming Steph's is spooky.
Oh,
It
yeah.
might not be spooky. Is it
No,
spooky?
it's spooky. I actually got a really spooky one. Yeah.
Cool.
Spooky children.
Oh, yes. That's very... if I'm thinking of what this may be, then this is very spooky. I have an
It
inkling.
probably is, because there's not too many spooky children out there. Not that I know of. But
Oh, there's some pretty spooky kids out there. You know what? I read a thread on Facebook today about, what is the spookiest thing that your kid has ever done? Oh, my God. Kids are the scariest fucking things.
that would have been so weird.
Yeah, it's like, my kid stares at the attic hole and says, where's the little boy?
No.
Or what happened to the little boy?
No.
Or, there's kids that, I don't know, say that they clowns move around their bedroom at night.
That's when you put them in the bin and you get a new one. You don't...
Just throw the clown or the child?
The child.
The child? Oh, yeah.
The
The whole child away.
You don't... I would not be able to handle that if my kid was like, the clown is my friend. He hangs out. And I'm not even scared of clowns, but, that would fuck me up.
Yeah. Now, clowns are pretty terrifying. I know with Panda sometimes, she can't really talk too much at the moment, but she will stare, because she can say hi. She'll, stare to the, opposite side of the house and be like, hi, and wave.
Oh no.
Kids are the worst.
Oh, no. All right. Well, anyway, we know what my story is. What's your one?
Mine is very lighthearted.
Yep.
It's very fun, and it's very cute. So it's quite different to what I usually do, because I'm usually terrified of not telling the scariest story possible.
Okay. I have no idea at all.
Oh, girl, you're going to love this one.
Hell yeah.
You are going to lose.
So I'm doing the super creepy one. You're just
shit.
doing the nice and cute one. Lovely.
What a change for once.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Who are we? What are we doing?
Who the fuck are we?
I don't know.
Okay.
Let's get into our housekeeping. So, so our last episode.
Oh my God. Drunk as fuck.
Drunk as fuck.
Yeah.
Drunk as fuck episode. And I know myself personally, I have had so much amazing feedback about that episode, but specifically your No-Dose guy story. If you haven't listened to the episode, Steph tells a fantastic story about a nightmare date, which involves a very tall man and a pack of No-Dose.
And 2 packs of No-Dose.
Oh, just 2 packs of
2 packs of No-Dose, and I'm very... it might
No-Dose.
take 2 packs of No-Dose to get that boy...
Oh, boy. Boy, oh, boy.
Down, technically. It takes 2... Oh, shit.
You just got to go listen. Go listen to the story. And if you're a patron on our Patreon, you can watch the video. And it is a drunk as fuck episode. So,
and Valentine's Day, so it's all themed about romance, love, relationships, dating, all that sort of shit.
Yeah.
So
Steph and I both tell a nightmare dating story.
Yeah.
So
oh my God, so funny. So definitely get on that.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
And also, we just want to let you guys know that we have something called SpeakPipe, where you can leave a voice message. It is super, super easy to use. It's on our website, on the contact page, just down the bottom. You just click it and you can record a message. It's only about a minute and a half at the most, but we would love to hear anything. If you want to say hi, leave a spooky message or a really funny story.
Yes. Tell us how hilarious our accents are, because we do get that one quite often.
We do get
in
that
messages.
a bit. Yeah.
Actually, I think that if you are going to leave a SpeakPipe message, you can only leave a message in your best Australian accent.
Oh my God, please, yes, because we have a lot of non-Australian listeners. And please leave. Okay, that is now a rule. You have to leave. It doesn't have to be the whole message, but yeah, definitely.
Yes, it does.
Okay,
Yes, it
it
does.
has to be the full message.
It has to be the whole message.
Your best Australian accent. And then we have to try and guess where you're from.
Oh, yeah. I've heard so many people who are not Australian try to do an Australian accent.
It's so funny. It is hard.
It's so funny. It seems to be really hard for people. They usually end up going British or...
Yeah, British or South African.
South African, yeah. Because that's pretty close as well.
Yeah, it's just weird. Like, the Australian accent is super weird. Like, we just... I mean, I know for a fact that I sound like a slur, like you meld your words together, a bit lazy on the end of things. We're just lazy the way we talk. Yeah.
And like heaps of slang as well. Heaps of like weird slang sayings and that kind of thing. Yeah, I guess it would be kind of weird. I lived in Canada for a while and there were so many things that I would say that Canadian people around me would be like, what the fuck are you talking about? What do you mean? Yeah. I remember once I was talking about, like, you know how if you say, oh, this chocolate cake is rich. Yeah. They were like, what do you mean it's rich? Like it has money? I was like, no, it's rich, like rich in flavour. And then
That's
like,
not
I don't know what you're talking about. No.
What the fuck?
How strange is that?
Well, what else would you say?
Oh,
Decadent?
I don't even know.
Oh my God, I can't.
Flavorful? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
thick with flavour. Abundant. Abundant in flavour.
Fat with flavour.
Yeah, fat. Oh, okay, that's weird.
Yeah, I don't know. But I thought that was just kind of like a worldwide thing.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it should be. Everyone should start saying that now. I know that when we started saying, I think once we started getting international listeners, everyone was saying that how we use the word bush instead of like forest or whatever.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, this is one of the things that I got in Canada. I'd be like, oh, it's in the bush.
And they're like,
and
a bush?
They'd be like, pubes? Like,
pubes
a bush?
Yeah.
No, not that kind of bush.
Yeah, not different. Bigger bush.
So I think that's our
that's
housekeeping done super fast today. Yay, let's talk some shit.
Yeah.
I actually have something that I wanted to tell you.
Oh, yeah?
So I know, like, on and off for a while, I've been claiming that there have been some weird things happening in my house.
Yeah.
But I'm not always fully convinced. Anyway, I'm almost like 100% sure now that my house is haunted.
Oh my God, okay.
Yes,
why? What's
specifically
going on?
my bedroom.
Oh no,
I'm
the
like,
worst place.
I know. So I'm pretty sure that something has been touching me while I lay in bed at night.
No.
Yeah, so the other night I was like laying in bed and sometimes my dog sleeps in the same room as like me and Panda in the bedroom. Yeah. And he never sleeps on the bed ever. He has his own awesome little dog bed. And he sometimes comes up for a little sniff just to see that we're doing all right. And I thought that he came up for a sniff because it felt like his nose, what he does is he comes up and he puts his nose in his mouth and rests it on the bed and you can kind of feel him sniffing around.
Yeah.
I thought that's what it was and I got my light just to shine it at him and to say hi and he was asleep in his bed. There was no one there. And I just, every now and then, I feel like I can feel my blanket moving.
Okay.
And also, I swear to God that the other night I felt someone touch me on the shoulder.
Oh,
yes,
no.
I know.
So you got a ghost dog or you got a ghost with a snout?
Yeah, or it's just like something moving my blankets around. I don't even know. But, I mean.
That's really unsettling.
Weird shit has been happening in that room because like a few times I heard weird sounds coming from the baby monitor, which is filming like that bedroom. Yeah. And a while ago, my boyfriend heard a voice in the house and it came from the bedroom as well.
Really? Okay.
So there is something going on with that room.
And he's super skeptical, isn't he?
It's so funny. He's like, because he's Slovakian, so he comes from quite, like, he has quite a, like, Romani family, so he has quite pagan roots. But he's very scientifically minded as well. So
Yeah.
he's very, very skeptical on one side.
Yeah.
But then on the other side, he was like, oh, you have a bad spirit in the house? You should strap an onion to your ankle and wave around the stick of an oak tree to get rid of it. Like,
Oh, I love it.
just
Okay.
very,
Yep.
like, not exactly that, but quite
Something like that, yeah.
funny with that kind of thing. But yeah, like, he doesn't fully believe.
Yeah, I
all of
like
that
it when
stuff.
those people that aren't too sure about that will have an experience and you're like, okay.
I know. It was
Interesting.
crazy. Like, we were just chatting one night and he stopped mid-sentence and he was like, did you hear that?
Oh, God.
I was like, what? He was like, I just heard a voice coming
I'm
from
getting
the bedroom.
scared now. I'm home alone.
Oh, are you? Oh,
yeah.
no.
Dylan's away for work and I'm just
Oh,
fucking...
bugger.
That's all right. And the
Well-
cats are just making weird fucking noises in the house.
Yeah, your cats are running around. Well, to make it even worse,
Yeah? Okay.
I reckon we should talk about the Kitumba House. Can I ask
Yeah.
you to tell another story of the
Oh,
Kitumba
yeah.
House? Because it's been a
It has been a
while. It's been a
while,
long
hasn't it?
time.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, there's been there's been a few. I mean, back again to that room. So that room that you had, I think the way
Yep.
you saw the door open.
Yep.
So I hated that room. I felt like that room was really creepy. That was actually the
Yep.
only bedroom I never slept in. I slept
Right. What, because you were scared of it?
I was scared of it. I knew by that point that my mum was experiencing a lot of stuff.
Oh, right. Okay.
She was very, very open about everything. She'd be like, oh, a man came in and was staring at me at the end of the bed.
Oh, my God.
I don't know if
That
I've
room was
mentioned that story
honestly-
before. She just like,
I don't
she was lying in her bed and there was a man next to her. Like, there's no men in the house. It was just my mum and my sisters, and there was a man there. And he whispered in her ear, and he goes, I like the name Alison,
God.
which is her name.
Yeah, it is her name.
Yeah.
That's so terrifying
And,
because it like knows her by name as well.
yeah.
It's not just like, ooh,
That-
booga booga, I'm here to haunt you.
But she's so weird, though. She was like, yeah, it was a bit weird, but, I didn't feel scared. I'm like, what do you fucking mean you weren't scared?
What are you smoking?
No, she's on a whole other level. She's just like, oh, it's just funny. But yeah, she's like, my bedroom was opposite hers. And I went through phases where I'd sleepwalk when I was quite sick through my teenage years. I was always just getting
Right.
quite ill. I wasn't sleeping properly. And it was causing me to do lots of weird shit in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
And Mum said one night, she also, poor Mum, I woke up and I was standing next to her.
Oh,
And I must have been
fucking hell.
like, I think maybe like 13. Probably, I might have just been in year 6 or year 7, so like 12, 13. And I was standing next to her and I was like, I'm free, but it's not utopia. And I just said that to her and she was like, Stephanie?
That's terrifying.
Yeah. And she was like, what the fuck? And then she realized that I was just in like full daze and I was asleep. And she goes,
Yeah.
oh my God. And she tried to like get me into her bed to like put me to sleep. She told me the next morning. And I mean, by that age, I've never even heard of the word utopia in my whole life. Like I didn't even know what that was. She was telling me what like a utopia is. And she's
That's
like,
crazy.
that is very weird. And that
Yeah.
freaked me the fuck out because I was like, I
Yeah.
don't even know what that word is. And I just said it.
And also you find out that you're like, you were somewhere else and you kind of didn't realize. Like, that's pretty creepy. That's an eerie
It's
feeling.
weird. Yeah, that
Yeah,
I
just-
approached her to say it as well. Like I wasn't like
Yeah.
just standing in the middle of the house somewhere. But yeah, I did that. And then I also just one time just tried to open the front door to like escape and make a run
my
for it. And
God.
Mum heard me because our front door was just like a giant piece of glass. You remember that? It's just like the most dangerous.
Yeah.
Front door is like a thin, like wooden frame, and then the whole thing is just glass.
Glass.
So it's just like rattles when you open it. And she was like, "What are you doing?"
Oh, imagine if you ended up on the street.
No idea. Yeah.
What would happen? Oh, God, because it's a pretty steep drop as well,
yeah,
isn't
there's
it?
a lot of stairs to get down the front door, and then it's just like, it's all rocks and everything's uneven. But yeah, it's
oh, that's terrifying. Yeah, that room that I was in and the room that your mum was in definitely was pretty like oppressive, I guess.
Yeah,
it's
strange.
You could say.
Like, it was a really beautiful room. There was a really nice bay window. It was like raised up, so you're looking over the front yard. There was lots of like
gardens,
really nice and beautiful. But yeah, there was something very strange about that room.
Something about it. Oh yeah, very, very strange. It's so funny. Like, I absolutely loved it, but was also just so confused by it. If that makes sense.
It's
like,
very odd. You know what's funny, actually?
Odd.
When we first moved into that house, I know that there's photos somewhere. I have to go to Mum's house and find photos. When we moved into this house, that bedroom, I swear to God, there was all inbuilt cupboards and the entire room was pink.
Oh,
everything was pink. The floor was pink. And I'm not even joking. At the end of the room, all there was a giant artwork of a clown child holding a rose.
Fuck off. Why would anyone paint that?
And it was super weird. It was like that weird like 80s glam where it was like super shiny and weird looking, but it was like a child clown.
That's terrifying.
It was the weirdest thing. And we always called it the pink room. It was always the pink room. They took the inbuilt cupboards out.
Yeah.
Repainted it, burnt the clown picture. I don't know where that fucking thing is.
I
have no idea actually where that went. But we just always refer to it as a pink room. Even then Mum painted it blue, then she painted it yellow.
Because it was yellow
change the vibe.
when I was in there.
It was yellow, yeah.
It's such a beautiful room. I feel like that about the whole house. Like, so beautiful, but so just... I don't know. You can just feel it as soon as you walk in, you know.
Yeah, and my bedroom was good. I had a sunroom, but it was a little bit weird. I've had a lot of like strange experiences in there. I think mainly, I don't know, because like I was sick. When I was sick for ages, I would like spend a lot of my time in there, just kind of like not being able to sleep because I had like glandular fever. So it was in and out of like. I couldn't sleep because I was like tripping balls, but like awake, tripping balls, like because you've had glandular fever as well.
I've had glandular fever, and that's exactly how I felt. Like, you're not in a full deep sleep, but you're not awake, and you are kind of hallucinating. Like, I don't know if it's from fever.
You're in like limbo, like you have no idea. And it was
imagine
like that
if you saw
months.
Something when you were in like that, because I know that limbo state because your mind isn't quite right as well. Imagine if you saw something.
That would be fucked up. That would be so bad. But yeah, that's kind of... But then also later on in my years as well, when I would, you know, I've had my acid trip. Yeah. And I kind of like ended my acid trip in that room, which... By the way, is like another story for another day. But
that's just the worst decision that you could have made.
Worst acid trip. It was the only acid trip I've ever had and will only ever have.
No way. And are we going to hear about it?
I think I'll probably talk about it because I drew. I drew.
Oh, you drew it.
Oh my God. Have you not seen it? I've got it on Facebook actually. Yeah. I tried to wind myself down and I put on music and I drew a picture of what I was feeling. Oh, and it's so fucked up.
I can imagine.
Yeah. So I'll go on. Yeah.
I'm so maybe for next episode. Episode after. I'm sure
a lot of people can relate if they've ever had, you know, bad
that kind of
experiences. But that's for another time. But anyway, I think I should get onto my actual real story that I've prepared for everyone.
Yes. Oh, I'm so excited because if it's what I'm thinking it is, it's so creepy.
Yes, it is. I think it is. It's got so. This one is really awesome to talk about because it has so many counters. This one, like, it's just an endless amount of stories. I'm talking about the black-eyed children.
Yes, bitch.
Yeah.
Oh man, this. Yeah. So you're talking about like the general topic of black-eyed children, not like
so
one specific.
Yeah, I'm going to
thing.
like kind of cover of what the black-eyed children are, because I don't know if most people know what they are. And then I've got a couple of stories I'm going to go through that I found that I kind of think it like rounds it up. So I'll end it with a couple of stories that I've got. But yeah, they're also known as the black-eyed kids as well. So black-eyed kids, or BEK as well, which is
BEK.
Yeah, they've been called that too.
That's somehow a bit more creepier
than the BEK.
Just like, the BEK sounds like BTK, the BTK killer or something.
Yeah. That is actually a lot creepier. But yeah, if you haven't heard of the black-eyed children before, like you'll become so wary of fucking kids you don't know after this.
I already am.
Yeah, I mean, true, I am too.
I'm wary of my own kid, Jesus.
Yeah, equally a black-eyed kid. Well, I'll start off telling you about what they are. So the earliest known sighting of one of these children is actually from 1990. So not that long ago.
Oh, okay.
But there have been such an insane amount of encounters since then. And it's all actually been lumped in with the whole creepypasta lore, which is kind of a bit annoying, but, you know.
It's annoying, but it definitely has that creepypasta vibe.
It does, yeah. I mean, the first sighting happened before creepypasta existed, but yeah, now everyone's
proof. There you go.
Yeah, majority of the stories are on Reddit and everything. So yeah, Slender Man, the Russian sleep experiment's one of them. But yeah, if you're familiar with Reddit and creepypastas, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, so these kids look exactly what you'd expect. So ages really around 6 at the youngest to 16, 17 at the oldest. Pretty pale skin. They've been seen to wear old-fashioned clothing, but also just normal pants, hoodies, like just normal day clothing as well. So I literally just look like a normal kid.
Yeah, that's definitely like
I think
more creepy than
I think so too.
Just trying to fit in, you know?
Just a kid like with a
nothing
hoodie
wrong here,
on.
Just nothing to look at.
Scares the fucking shit out of me. Like if I don't know. Yeah. Now they do tend to look quite normal. Except the eyes, really. They're completely black. So, you know, eye sockets, eyelashes, stuff, that's all there, but the eyeballs are all black. So there's no whites of the eyes at all.
Yuck.
Yeah, so gross. There are a small number of cases of people saying that they have actually seen these children with talons instead of feet.
Oh, no.
Which is so weird, like a demon bird child or something.
Yes. It's like the ultimate nightmare creature.
Yeah. Like, yeah, in a hoodie with like talon feet.
In a fucking hoodie, with just talons sticking out of the arms of the hoodie.
It's so weird to think about. But, yeah, I guess when you encounter these children, you feel an intense amount of anxiety and terror. And it usually takes a while for you to realize that there is actually something wrong with the kids. So the terror sits with you for quite a while until you realize. With most of these stories I've heard, they do mostly travel in pairs, but they are seen on their own as well. No one knows what their goal is, but there are always the same similarities with each encounter. So with the first one, the kids always ask you for something. They will always try to get a ride with you. They want to go somewhere. They would like a glass of water. They would like to use your phone. The list goes on. They just want
to get into your house.
Yes, yes. Number 2 is they will try to follow you. So either by trying to get into your car or inside of your home, which are like the most common stories, is just like being in a car or home and them really just trying to get close to you.
No, go away.
But the good news is that they have to be invited in. So kind of like a vampire. They can't just like, thank fucking God, they can't just smash your window open and jump in.
And enter.
They're just like banging on the window like, please, hello.
Let us in.
I need your approval. I need your consent.
So, at least they appreciate consent. I know. That's cool.
Yeah. I can get behind this. Like, And then the last one is, I guess, feeling the absolute dread and terror when people feeling dread and terror when they're near these children. So it takes a while, as I said, for people to realize what they're looking at. But by the time it clicks, they're just fucking out. They're out of there so fast, or slamming the door shut, or driving off. Would.
Yep.
So now there have been a few handful of adults with black eyes too, but not as common. No one knows what they are either. So people do have their suspicions. Mostly people believe that they're aliens. So that's probably the most common one. Some people think they're vampires, and others tend to follow the more demonic route as well.
Yeah, it definitely seems like an alien demon crossover almost.
Yeah, yeah, it's weird. Like, it kind of like touches on all of them. So,
everything. Yeah.
It's a little bit hard to know. Sometimes people have described the knocking on their door to almost sound robotic and non-stop till the door is open. And sometimes people open the door and there's no one even there, but the kids will come back later that night and then they will be there. But it's the same noise. The children also talk as if they're reading off a script, often repeating phrases like they were taught to only say certain things.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So the first known encounter, so this is the very first one that was kind of reported, happened in Abilene, Texas. The year was 1996, and it was late in the evening. Brian Bethel, he was sitting in his car in an empty parking lot opposite a movie theatre. He had a late bill he needed to pay, so he was just writing up a check on the dashboard. All of a sudden, there is a loud knock on the driver window, and he looks up to see two boys standing there. He rolled down his window and noted that there was an immediate soul-racking fear, but had no idea why.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That almost gives me anxiety, because that's sometimes how anxiety feels.
That immediate, what am I feeling? Like, I have to do a poo out of nowhere.
Yeah. Oh, and your tummy is just like, like tightens up.
Can't talk now, kids. Gotta shit.
Damn it. This is what anxiety pooing has been the whole time, just because of the black-eyed children.
100%. Oh, God. So, yeah, these two kids, so they look to be about 9 and 12 years old. The older boy said to him that they wanted to watch a movie, but they forgot their money at home, so they wanted him to drive them there. They assured him he wasn't going to take very long, and they were only two kids, and they didn't have a gun.
It's all right.
Yeah.
We don't have a gun. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Oh, if you say you don't have a gun.
It's all
and
good.
And you're only two kids.
Get in. It's fine.
And it's not going to take very long. Sure.
No problem.
Very convincing. Now, Brian became really uncertain, as you would, after they really kept pushing him. They were just like, it's fine. No. We don't have a gun, blah, blah, blah. They just kept saying it.
Yeah.
And then he started to realize that the last movie for the night had already started, and by the time he would actually drive them and drive them back, it would have been finished. So he was like, nah, Brian, this is super sus.
Get out.
Yeah. And he said that every time he started to look away from the kids or broke eye contact with them, their eyes would turn all black.
Black.
The older boy was also becoming very angry as Brian kept making excuses to not give them a lift. The kids said to him that he couldn't get into the car unless he said it was okay. But Brian just thought, you know what, fuck this, and he just sped off. So
yeah, I mean, they're kids. Just wind up your window and drive away.
Yeah. So that's the first encounter that's ever been written about it. And I like that one because it is very simple as well. It's like,
oh, yeah.
If it was fake, I don't know, like you could really amp it up a bit. But I like that.
Yeah, it's not an extravagant story. It's just a pretty simple, basic, creepy experience.
Yeah. So I've got another story here. This one's a bit longer. But yeah, I love this one. So this one is called Walk in the Park.
Mm-hmm.
So it was 1 a.m, and I was a little late walking my dog Dakota. She's a 3-year-old German Shepherd and very tame for a big dog. Not in my entire life having her have I seen her run up to anyone. She gets very nervous around strangers. I live very close to a large park that leads into a hiking trail. There's a large area that's used as a baseball field, and the big entrance into the wilderness surrounded by trees and darkness. Here is where I let Dakota off the leash and follow behind her as she sniffs around trying to find a spot to do her thing. But this night was very different. As soon as I took her off the leash, she jolts into high speed towards the trail opening. I know many of you are judging me for letting a dog off its leash, and trust me, I know I shouldn't do it, but it's
naughty.
But it's one of those things you just don't tell people you do. Mm-hmm. Plus, this was completely out of character for her, as all I could think of was if she goes in there and doesn't come back, I don't think I can go after her.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's so hard.
Yeah, like I was.
It's like you want to go in and help your dog, but
yeah, but at the same time, don't want to die.
Yeah.
Yeah. He says, I was not about to get lost in pitch black darkness on a freezing cold night to get eaten by some mountain lions. I'd wait for her and probably call my roommate to tell him I'd be taking longer. But she didn't go in. She was about 8 feet from the entrance when I saw a tall, dark figure calmly walk out of the darkness.
Oh, shit.
Anyone else would have probably freaked the fuck out right there. Some creep walking out of the woods at this hour. But I'm in pretty good shape. 6'5", and if anything, people are usually more scared of me than I am of them. Plus, the random weirdo isn't rare in LA, even if this is a middle-class, good suburban neighborhood. So I call for Dakota, but she doesn't move. I've never seen a dog literally follow someone with their gaze, never breaking contact. It just doesn't make sense. That was where the uneasiness first kicked in, but it wasn't anything serious. It was just really strange. I started jogging towards her when I noticed it was a girl, about 17 to 20 years old, around 5'9", and from what I could see, she was stunning. Long legs, beautiful body, short dark hair almost reaching her shoulders in a tousled, sexy kind of way, her long messy bangs framing her face as she stopped walking to look at Dakota for a second. Couldn't make out her face really, but I didn't see a deathly pale girl in a white dress floating like your stereotypical dead girl. I saw a stunning girl in skin-tight dark jeans, boots, a dark leather jacket, and from what I could tell, she had a light complexion, but by no means did she look like a ghost. My first thought was maybe if we talk I can get a number, but then I remembered this girl had just walked out of the hiking trail in the middle of the night. I started thinking about a documentary about female serial killers I saw once. But even if she was a crazy person, I still have no idea how she could just walk around up there in the darkness. It was so thick, and I doubt you could see 1 foot in front of you. Even though there was something really off about all of this, when I saw her stop to look at Dakota again, I lightly said to her, "Don't worry, she's harmless." To which she completely ignored me and continued walking. I think, okay, I didn't expect someone who walks around the woods in the middle of the night to keep a conversation going. I put Dakota's leash on, but she doesn't budge. All she does is take a couple steps towards the girl, then stops whenever the girl looks back at her. I think she likes you, I say, to which the girl just looks at Dakota. All this felt really weird. Almost like a dream, like a light feeling and that silence that sounds almost like you're underwater.
Oh, yeah. I can imagine exactly that silence because it's almost like you can hear your pulse starting to flow. Yes. And it's like, oh, get out of there.
I hate that feeling. It's so weird. No matter how much I tried to act cool, this was not normal. So here I am trying to get my paralyzed dog to budge, while an intimidating, mysterious girl doesn't break eye contact with her. I was stuck between I'm so embarrassed and she's going to pepper spray me. When she takes one step towards Dakota, and my dog has her tail in between her legs and is whimpering like she's seen the devil.
Oh, shit.
That's when I knew we had to go. As soon as this girl is walking again, I pick up my 60-pound dog by the stomach and start speed walking back. I probably look like a total idiot, but I don't care. Whatever dreamlike state I was in before had been broken by my dog's attitude. Everything inside me was telling me, go home. So I'm halfway across the field when I put my dog's leash on and set her down. She doesn't budge again. I think, are you fucking kidding me? I will drag you home. I feel like I'm going to throw up. And then I turn around and I see this fucking girl is standing on some bleachers, not even 10 feet from me.
You would shit yourself.
And now I can see her face in the light.
No, don't look at the face.
Don't look. I shit you not, this girl was beautiful, but her eyes were blacker than black. They filled all her eyeballs. It was just 2 shiny orbs inside of 2 almond-shaped sockets. She looked completely different from the serious expression I could make out before. I fucking swear I wanted to run, but something made me stay. I felt so scared that I could hear a faint, high-pitched humming in my ears, and my entire body felt heavy. That's it. Yeah.
That's that feeling, yeah.
I wanted to run more than anything. I could have thought, oh, a strange chick in Halloween contacts, but I cannot explain the feeling of absolute paralyzing horror I experienced without any rationalization. I didn't have time to. These feelings hit me like a fucking train, and I hope to God I never feel as helpless and mortified as I did then.
Oh my God.
She was not human. She was not a regular girl. And to make things worse, this girl said in a sultry, sweet tone that I'd expected to sound like something from beyond the grave, does she bite? And still on defense mode, I think I managed to mutter out my idea of a no. I don't know if anyone else knows what I mean when I say I felt like as soon as I blinked again, she would be standing right in front of me.
Yes.
But she did. Yep.
Oh my God, like a horror movie.
Like literally a horror movie.
Yeah.
As soon as I finished saying no, she waited a couple of seconds before saying, do you live nearby? To which I was going to say no, even though I did. But as soon as I went to speak, she said, did you drive here? And I start walking back, trying to distance myself slowly. And again, before I can speak, she says, I'm going to need to come with you.
No, you're not. Fuck off. Get out of here.
You'll let me come with you. That's okay, right? It's okay. Don't be afraid.
Oh, she's trying to like psychology her way into it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But luckily, Dakota fucking books it and starts running like a scared child. And then I follow. We are running. Now, I don't stop till I catch up with my dog. We're at the other side of the street, and I take this time to turn around and make sure she isn't following us. But she's calmly walking back, already all on the other side of the park where she was before. And I call my roommate to meet me halfway back home, and I've never walked my dog after dark again.
Oh, it's the calmness which is so scary because like this whole time this person is like terrified and the dog's like losing its shit at this girl, and not once is she just like, oh, I'm all calm, and then blah. She was just calm the whole time.
The weird thing as well is like, what do they fucking want? Like, it was only him and the dog there. The dog was obviously scared, so it's like she could have like attacked him if she wanted to. Like, she had the chance to.
Them.
Yeah, it's so fucking weird.
I mean, she did need to be invited. I mean, but she could have attacked them, but she needs to be invited.
Yeah, she was like, I need to come with you. You need to.
Yeah, she's like trying to mind game her way into like, because I need to come with you now.
Yeah.
Like, what do they want? That's so strange.
But anyway, I've got one more. Now, this one is nowhere near as long as that one, but yeah, it's a nice little one to end on.
Mm-hmm.
So this one is called No, You Won't Be Calling Anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So this incident took place about 13 years ago. I had just moved to a new city with my wife. We were small town newlyweds from the Midwest. We moved cross-country to one of the biggest cities in the Southwest so I could attend graduate school. Being naive and new to city living, I habitually answered the door without a second thought, but never again after this. The first thing that should have tipped me off to the strangeness of this situation was the fact that someone was knocking at the door at 6 a.m. The second...
Oh, yeah, that's a bit weird.
Yeah, super normal. The second thing that should have dawned upon me is this kid had to reach over a rather tall patio gate to unlatch and open it. The knock at the door was startling. My wife and I were getting ready for work, a pretty normal routine. The moment I opened the door, I was overtaken with an inexplicable sense of fear.
Oh, the fear again.
To this day, I can picture him. Teenager, average height, average build, knee length, black leather coat, short black hair and sunglasses. Yeah, sunglasses at 6 a.m.
Yeah, that
struck me as a bit weird.
And he also sounds like he resembles Neo from The Matrix.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very true. So yeah, that did struck me as odd. But what was even more odd was that he was eating an apple, and he was very polite. And he asked if he could come in and warm up. I said no, and closed the door, and slid the security chain into place. A moment later, another knock. I opened the now chained door, and before I could speak, he asked again if he could come in and warm up. No, I replied, and attempted to close the door. Before the door could shut, he put his hand out, stopping the door on its hinges. He looked directly into my eyes, still wearing these sunglasses, and he said, "Can I at least get some ketchup for my apple?" Fuck that, I reply, though a little confused. God. Get the hell out of here. My wife is calling the police.
Of course his kid wants fucking ketchup for his apple. Of course. What a weirdo.
He takes a moment to let this information sink in, lowers his glasses, revealing eyes black as obsidian, and says, "No, you won't be calling anybody." At that moment, I force the door closed, lock it, and I call out to my wife. She is scared shitless, hiding in the bedroom. All jacked up on adrenaline, I rip the curtain back to look out the window next to the door, and he's gone. Absolutely no trace of him. So I go out on the patio and I check the gate, and it's still latched from the inside. That was really fucked up. And I think to myself as I turn to enter the house, and I notice a half-eaten apple lying on the ground.
Oh, shit.
So those are a couple of stories that I wanted to share.
Fantastic stories.
There are so many out there that you can find online. There's heaps. But also, if this does intrigue you and you want to know more, I would definitely encourage you to purchase the book Black-Eyed Children by David Weatherly. There's a whole book. And this is like the OG book. This has...
Right.
It's just filled with encounters.
Yes.
And the reviews on it are incredible. But
my God, I want to read this book.
Yeah, it sounds great. Just like lots of mini stories. And
yes. Such an interesting subject because it's like, what are they?
Yeah.
Are they? It's like my first reaction is to feel like they're aliens, but they sound almost, not that they sound dumb, but they don't sound like smart enough to be aliens because I don't think aliens would need permission to come in, and just with a lot of the stuff that they do, it's like you're clearly pretending to be like a normal human, but you're not quite hitting the mark. Yeah. And I just don't feel like, I speak as if I know all aliens.
You know.
But I just feel like aliens are smarter than this.
I feel like that too.
You know.
Yeah, because, I mean, I've known about the Black-Eyed Kids for fucking ages, and I just, in my head was like, they're aliens, like the aliens. But yeah, it doesn't really make sense.
It's so strange.
They're kind of like drones, like, or they're like robots in a way, like they're programmed to say these certain things, But then again, we don't even know what their agenda is. So that's where it's hard
exactly
to know.
What do they want?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I wonder if there are people out there who have let them in and they just haven't, like, lived to tell the tale.
Yes.
Or, like, what has happened.
There's really not many stories of people that have let them in, because I think, I mean, obviously it's not working. People are picking up on it going, their eyes are all black. That's not fucking normal.
Yeah, and the fear as well that people get before. When they come in contact with them. Yeah, they definitely seem like drone-ish.
Which I don't know.
Creatures. So maybe there's something completely different that we just have no idea.
I know. Yeah, they're coming from like a different dimension or something.
Something like that.
It's very weird, but yes.
I'm so glad that you covered that subject.
Yes, yeah. Me too. I know. I've had that on my list for a while. It's good to do a creepy one. So
it's so
and I'm
spooky.
glad I did that, because your story is not spooky at all. So I'm really happy to hear yours. I have no idea.
Oh my God. Mine is like the complete opposite end of the spectrum.
So excited.
You are just going to be, I'm pretty sure if I know you enough, I'm sure that you are going to be excited about this story and the subject of my story.
Okay.
I'm just going to get straight into it.
Yep.
So, picture in your mind. It's 1989 on the evening of December 17th, and history is about to be made. Children all around the world are sitting in front of their dial analog television sets, waiting in anticipation after eating a delicious dinner of curried sausages, maybe meatloaf, a casserole, or something else that is quintessential of the 80s era. Their lives are about to be changed forever by what they're going to watch on the tube. That evening, on December 17th, would be the very first episode ever of Matt Groening's The Simpsons.
Oh, what the fuck? Okay.
Yeah, so we're off to a good start.
The Simpsons.
The Simpsons. Yes, The Simpsons.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm wondering whether you kind of know already what I'm going to be talking about in terms of The Simpsons.
I think I might... I mean, look, there could be a couple of things that I'm thinking of, so...
Okay. Well, I guess...
Yeah.
We'll soon find out.
Okay.
Now, if you've never watched The Simpsons, you need to wake the fuck up to yourself and really ask yourself, what are you doing with your life?
Exactly. I know. It's shaped us. Like
it's literally, oh my God.
Yeah.
It has shaped so much
a
about
generation,
me.
Technically.
A whole generation. I can't think of anyone who wouldn't have seen The Simpsons at some point, even just once, even just a little bit. But if you don't know what The Simpsons is about, it's basically a cartoon sitcom about a dysfunctional family of 5, Marge and Homer, the parents, and their kids, Bart, Lisa, and baby Maggie.
Yeah.
They get up to all sorts of trouble, especially Homer, who is a semi-functional alcoholic who works at the local power plant. The show still runs today and has actually been the longest running American animated series, the longest running American sitcom, and the longest running American scripted primetime television series. Yes, all those things. And
yeah, it's still going. Yeah.
And it's still going. There's like so many episodes. And then there's movies as well, you know.
Oh yeah, true.
It's just I've like watched all of them. Probably like 10 times over.
I've watched
all the episodes.
Yeah, I mean all the old ones, like anything before, seen everything before season 1 to season 8. Like,
right.
I mean, I wouldn't even be able to tell you how many times I've seen the episodes.
Oh, because they used to play reruns as well.
Yeah,
like,
the reruns.
When it was like watching old television, you know.
And you'd know, like I remember me and my sisters would try to guess whoever could guess the episode, like as soon as it would get past the credits, you're like, okay, let's fucking, and you'd be like, oh, this is the one where
you can even guess the kind of era of when the episode is from, depending on the intro, because of like how the animation looks and how short or long
Smithers, remember when Smithers' colour scheme was like all fucking weird?
Yeah. Like, oh man, some of them look so weird in like the early episodes.
Oh,
but so the show received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame It's received dozens of awards, such as 34 Primetime Emmy Awards, 34 Annie Awards, and 2 Peabody Awards, just to name a few. Homer's signature catchphrase, "Dough," has been adopted into the English language. And the show has just really become a front runner, influencing a whole range of other cartoon shows as well. So to say that The Simpsons has left an impact on our culture is a massive understatement.
Yeah, true.
There are many amazing things that can be said about The Simpsons and their antics, but something that is a little less spoken about, although it has been brought up more so in the public eye recently, is The Simpsons' apparent ability to seemingly predict the future.
Oh, okay.
Oh, shit.
Oh, I like where you're going. Okay. Yeah. Yep.
This is a very interesting subject. The first prediction, and I use the term prediction loosely because in the show they're not portrayed as predictions.
Yeah.
The first one is from an episode way back in 2000 named Bart to the Future. Clips of this moment began circulating everywhere on social media, and even online articles started to talk about just how strange it is that The Simpsons have this weird ability to seemingly tell the future. This is probably the most iconic prediction that The Simpsons have made in this episode I'm about to talk about. And actually, there's 2 scenes from this episode that seem to have come true.
Really?
Weirdly enough. 2 of them, and they're very strange.
All right.
The first scene, where we've all flashed forward into Bart's future, into his adulthood, and you learn that his sister Lisa has become the president of the United States. In this scene, you see Lisa sitting at the presidential desk in the Oval Office, and she says, quote, "As you know, we've inherited quite a budget crunch from President Trump. How bad is it, Secretary Van Houten? We're broke," Milhouse says. And this scene was aired 16 years before Trump was elected as president.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and it's fair to say that he also left the country fairly broken, just as Lisa says. Not to get political or anything, but
definitely a bit broken, yeah.
So this is just number 1 of this episode's predictions. And the latter prediction that I'm about to tell you is a bit more eerily accurate. Despite the first one I just described as being pretty on point anyway, chances are you've seen a side-by-side comparison already of what I'm about to describe. The second predictive scene of the Bart to the Future episode is a shot of Donald Trump getting onto a downward moving escalator, and on the landing to his right, just above him, is a crowd of people waving signs and waving their hands.
Right.
As Trump is moving down the escalator, he gives a brief wave and then a brief thumbs up. 15 years later, after this, as Donald Trump is announcing his presidential campaign in New York City, there was footage of him that mirrored this exact scene almost down to the millisecond.
Really?
Yes. You haven't seen it.
I don't know. It sounds familiar, but I don't think yeah.
It was circulating a while ago. It's kind of like disappeared into the internet ether. But it was circulating a while ago. You have to watch it. It's just
holy shit, yeah.
Incredible.
That's so cool.
So he's seen stepping onto an elevator, going down. There are people above him with signs waving. And as he goes down the elevator, he gives a brief wave and a brief thumbs up.
Oh, my God.
And it's not only what he does, which is so precise, which it is very precise, but the angle of the shot is the exact same.
Oh, my... What?
The timing of the wave and the thumbs up, the movement of the escalator, it's exact down to a T.
Okay.
It's really something that you have to watch side by side to see just how eerie and similar it is. I've scoured the internet to try and find some internet sleuths' theories on how this could be so exact and precise, and I cannot find anything. There are literally no theories on this out there, which is so rare for the internet to have some crazy conspiracy theories as to why this is happening. Another pretty accurate prediction that The Simpsons have in their prediction library is their depiction of future technology. The first of these technological predictions was from an episode all the way back in 1995. Lisa is at a local town fair and visits a psychic in a tent who has a crystal ball, and she's transported 15 years into her future. One of the scenes of her future self is her on a video chat to Marge, with which she's using her phone, which is called a picture phone. The production and use of phones that had picture or video capabilities didn't come about until 2010, a whole 15 years later.
I don't even remember that. What?
Yeah. Oh, yes. The episode.
Oh, no, I remember the episode, but I don't remember
the picture. Yeah. I remember it from the episode.
Hang on. Yes, I do. Yes, and they're in their Imagine home, they're all really old.
Old? Yeah.
And was Maggie in the background too as a teenager, I think?
Oh, God, I can't even remember.
Oh, God, I think.
It's a good scene, though. Oh, they're all good scenes. So this one is one of the more explainable predictions, I feel. Almost like it's kind of an expected progression for phones to have naturally developed picture and video technology. But maybe I just think that because this kind of technology seems to make sense to me in this day and age.
Yeah.
But maybe I would have thought differently if I was told that my chunky brick mobile phone from the 90s would one day film video in 4K.
Yeah.
I mean...
It's pretty crazy.
It is weird. It's a weird prediction, but also, does it just make sense that phones got video?
It's hard to, hard to tell. Things have progressed so fast. In like the past 100 years. Like, it's absolutely crazy. What I think, like, the first rocket that was sent had like the power of like a fucking like Nokia phone, like the very first like mobile phone or something.
That's crazy.
It like the processor in there, it was like so fucking basic.
Oh my God, and computers would fill like a whole floor of a building.
Yeah.
And now we have that in the palm of our hands.
Yeah, palm of your hand. Yeah, people's phones are more powerful than their whole fucking computer these days.
Oh, yeah.
Like, no idea.
Yep, we're advancing. So, from the very same episode, which, by the way, is called Lisa's Wedding, there was also a scene in which Lisa's future fiancé uses what is referred to as a smartwatch.
What?
Yes. This word may seem familiar because we use this term today. The man is seen making a video phone call into the watch face, which looks incredibly like an Apple smartwatch with a screen the same size and shape as what we see today on a wristband.
No fucking way.
Yeah, this one's a bit stranger because...
I definitely don't remember that one. I don't like her husband. I remember the whole cufflinks thing. That made me really upset.
Yeah.
When he didn't want to wear the cufflinks.
Oh, that's right.
And Homer was like, they're like a family heirloom, and they were so cute little pigs in like a little tuxedo.
Oh, the pigs.
Yeah, they were like the little baby.
I remember.
The little pigs. And he was like, ugh. And I'm like, you bastard.
I love your Simpsons.
I've got
like capabilities. It's so great. This would be a very different story if you didn't like The Simpsons as much as what you do.
What's a Homer?
I had a feeling, though. I had a feeling.
Yeah.
And actually, it wasn't until 19 years later that smartwatches such as this were available to the public. There was absolutely nothing of this kind on the market at the time. Phones didn't even have cameras, so it's pretty cool that they were able to foresee this type of technology being used, because I feel like this is quite different to the the prediction of a phone that has like video capability to have a watch with the screen and talking into the watch, you know?
Yeah.
So this next prediction that The Simpsons made was during a scene of an episode called Lisa on Ice. And it's a pretty funny one. During a Springfield elementary school assembly, Kearney asks a fellow bully, Dolph, to take a memo to beat up Martin on his Newton device, which was Apple's early attempt at a personal digital assistant.
Oh, okay.
However, the machine translates the message to eat up Martha instead of beat up Martin. Foreshadowing the common messaging errors people blame on iPhone's autocorrect technology.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, one of Apple's former directors of engineering for iOS applications revealed in 2013 that the Simpsons gag served as a rallying cry while developing the software for the iPhone's keyboard. He said, if you heard people talking and they used the words eat up Martha, it was basically a reference to the fact that we needed to nail the keyboard. We needed to make sure the text input works on this thing. Otherwise, here comes the eat up Marthas, he told a journalist.
That is so funny that they were using that.
I know. It's such a... I thought that was a pretty cute one.
Eat up Martha.
Not super profound, but I thought it was pretty cute. Another kind of techie prediction moment in The Simpsons was when Homer, in episode Treehouse of Horror 19, is seen attempting to vote for Barack Obama on a computer voting machine.
Yeah.
This scene was actually inspired by the 2008 American election, which was the first time that Obama ran and won the US election. In the scene, Homer is attempting to vote for Obama on the voting machine, and every time he tries to choose his vote for Obama, the machine changes his vote to the other candidate. Hilarious. Ironically enough, it was found that in Obama's second election in 2012, that some of the computer voting machines that the public were using to cast their vote were instead choosing the other candidate instead of Obama in exactly the same way that was shown on the episode. They would click Obama and it would like swap over to
and would it show them that was happening, or was it just like behind the scenes?
I think it was probably behind the scenes.
Yeah, so they didn't...
I don't know, but how would they realize if it was behind the scenes?
Yeah, it's...
I'm not sure,
yes.
but
that's
pretty strange.
Crazy.
Yeah. So these are our tech predictions, done and dusted, and it really just goes up from here.
Oh.
One of the most amazing moments for The Simpsons and their apparent future telling was in 1998, which was episode 10 on season 2. The episode is called The Wizard of Evergreen Terrace, and this is probably one of my favourite future telling moments of the show. In this episode, Homer suddenly decides that he's going to become an inventor, and he comes up with ideas such as an electric hammer and a makeup gun.
Yep. Such a good episode.
That one? It's so good.
Oh.
In the process, he suddenly unleashes a secret hidden mathematical ability. In one scene, he's standing at a blackboard after writing out a lengthy and complicated mathematical equation.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, it really didn't mean much. It just looked like a bunch of numbers and just a jumble of nonsense. But 14 years later, it was realised that this mathematical equation was much more than it originally seemed.
What?
It was realised that Homer had essentially worked out the equation for the existence of the Higgs boson, or what's also known as the God particle. The God particle.
Homer.
Oh, yeah, smart boy.
Okay.
Big smart boy. The God particle is related to quantum theory and physics theory. Mm-hmm. And I won't go into it because to be honest, I don't understand it really.
Yeah.
Makes no sense.
Okay, that's fair. You can tell me when we stop recording. You can break it down.
Okay. Okay, sure. It's big brain stuff.
Yeah.
The Higgs boson was only discovered in 2012. And if you work out Homer's equation, you get the mass of a Higgs boson that's only a tiny fraction larger than the nanomass of what a Higgs boson actually is. And so what that is saying is that it is just the tiniest little minute amount off the true equation. Like a tiny little nanomass.
That's amazing.
I know. Oh, such a smart boy. And the discovery of this particle was extremely groundbreaking for physics. It took years of work and teams of physicists to finally discover the God particle.
I doubt it. I reckon they just stole it off Homer.
Oh,
they should credit him. Yeah.
Yeah. They were like, this makes sense.
Someone was just like, do you watch The Simpsons? Because I think it's all sorted.
Oh, yeah. Homer is to be trusted with this kind of thing. So, yes, this is probably my favourite of the predictions with the Higgs boson because it's just so wild.
Yeah.
Like, what are the odds? What are the odds of this happening?
It is so weird.
I know. It's so weird. Also, another very interesting moment in The Simpsons was in 1997. There was an episode in season 9 called Lisa's Sax. And in this episode, there is a scene where Marge Simpson is trying to coax a sick Bart out of bed. She asks Bart, would you like to colour something? And Bart solemnly replies, I already did. And he points to an apocalyptic drawing of himself laying dead on the ground, surrounded in blood and flies, with the sun and clouds crying around him.
Oh my God.
But the thing is, if you look at the book that Marge offers Bart, the title is Curious George and the Ebola Outbreak.
Oh.
So, as I said, this is 1997, and 17 years later in America, there was in fact a real Ebola outbreak.
Yeah.
At the time, in 1997, Ebola was a known disease, but really not that known by the common American, really. But it is a very serious disease that is pretty prevalent in West Africa. This Ebola outbreak in the States was all over the news when it occurred, and it had the same feeling as what was felt at the beginning of COVID and the pandemic.
Yeah.
For a lot of people, it felt very scary, and many people felt it was a real threat that had to be taken seriously. There are theories that The Simpsons were using predictive programming to foretell such things as the Ebola outbreak.
Okay.
As well as theories that the US government were using Ebola vaccines from labs against citizens. And The Simpsons producers somehow were in on this and
had
some kind of secret information because, you know, the Illuminati and they're all in on it, of course.
Okay.
One of the other quite fascinating predictions from the people at The Simpsons is that of a scene in an episode from 2010 called Elementary School Musical.
Yeah.
In this episode, Marge sends Lisa to a performing arts camp while Homer goes off to the annual Nobel Peace Prize ceremony. Meanwhile, some of the Springfield Elementary School students were taking bets on who was going to win the Peace Prize. And during the episode, you see a shot of Milhouse's bet, which was circled around Bengt R. Holstrom. Not sure if I'm saying that right. Bengt R. Holstrom. It's a very Swedish sounding name.
It sounds very, Swedish.
Yeah. 6 years after this episode was released in 2016, it was none other than Bengt R. Holstrom who won the Nobel Peace Prize. And Holstrom, he is an accomplished economist, but he was by no means at the time in the public consciousness or even a household name. Not that these are the things that, make a Nobel Peace Prize winner, but I'm just trying to explain that he wasn't kind of like this forefront person who was
who was going to make it there. Like, he wasn't a nominee for ages, or no one knew he was going to.
No,
I mean, that's incredible. That's very random.
Yeah, so random. It's just a brief scene. It's just like, you've got a sheet of paper and his name is circled for the win. So, yeah, pretty cool.
Not that most people would even know who that is anyway.
Well, that's exactly. Like, even, especially back then.
Kids are watching it.
Who the fuck is Bengt Holmstrom? Like,
that is...
Kids have no idea who he is.
Oh, man, that's so weird.
There are many other predictions from The Simpsons that are pretty interesting, such as flu pandemics sweeping through Springfield just before masses of killer bees swarm the town, which closely resembles what happened with COVID and the killer hornets in the US.
God, yeah.
When the plague hit, God. Was it the 7 plagues or the 11 plagues?
Yeah, because then we had the bushfires, so it was like...
Yep. It's happening. This is the world ending right here.
Yeah. It's happening.
So performances by Lady Gaga that were almost exactly replicated years later. Suspicious horse meat that turning up in American cafeterias the same way it did at Springfield Elementary, being served by the lunch lady Doris.
Oh, yeah. She'd serve some dodgy shit. Remember the rat milk?
Shit. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Were they drinking like rat milk as well?
Yeah, the rat milk, and it was like, there was another one where it was like,
or cockroach
1% something.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It was super fucking weird.
I'm just gonna finish this recording and go binge.
Yeah, I think I need to binge some Simpsons. It's been a while.
There's scenes that show devices similar to GoPros and other devices that we use today. It even came pretty close to that time Greece's debt defaulted, and also the 2015 FIFA soccer scandal where a whole bunch of officials were arrested on corruption and bribery.
Yeah.
These are all a little easier to explain away, despite all of their weird coincidental details. It all isn't extremely mind-blowing, but it definitely is on the side of weird.
Yes.
So what do you reckon? Do you think they've got future-telling abilities? Can they predict the future?
It's so hard to tell because it's like, I mean, it's fact. These episodes came out before all this other shit happened.
Yep.
But it's like, there's no other cartoons or shows that have predicted shit.
Oh, well, yeah, that's the thing. Like,
the creators of The Simpsons, they're comedians, they're writers. They're people that we know that do other shows. Like, they're hilarious people. They're not fucking... No. They're not, like... in the Illuminati and planning all this shit. It must be just some crazy coincidence.
It's obviously just coincidence.
It has to be coincidence because the amount of episodes that they've done, I feel like it's gotten to a point where they've got so much content to do, so many stories they can cover.
Exactly.
And the amount of people that are working on each episode, I feel like it is coincidence, but the Trump thing freaks me out, and also the watch thing really scares me too. And the Homer solving...
The God particle thing. That's the one that gets me because it's like there's...
That's weird as fuck, actually.
With a mathematical equation, it takes so many points to get to one result. And it's
weird.
Like... it's so weird. The Trump thing gets me. Yeah, if anyone hasn't seen like a side-by-side comparison... Go onto YouTube and just type in like Trump elevator.
I bet it's had millions of views. I already know it.
I bet. It is crazy.
Oh my God. I love that you did the Simpsons predictions. That just threw me off.
Thank you. I'm so glad. I pleased you.
That was so funny. Oh my God. That's so great. What a fucking weird episode.
Total opposite ends of the fucking spectrum.
Yeah, completely.
And opposites to what we usually do,
That was mad. Okay.
Fucking mad one.
Hell yeah. Well, before we go, we want to thank one of our latest patrons that have signed up, our lovely friend Rosie.
Oh, Rosie, I love you.
We love you so much. Thank you so much for signing up. It means a lot to us.
Yes. Rosie is one badass bitch.
Oh, yeah.
She just made herself even more badass by joining Patreon.
100%. And she's got a really cute dog as well.
Yes.
And then also always thank you to our other patrons that have signed up.
Thank you so much for your support.
Yeah. And thank you all so much for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed our episode this week.
Yes, our weird episode.
Yeah.
It was a really fun one.
Yeah, it was super fun. So, yeah, if you do like us, just remember to share us around social media, give us a rating or review.
Yes.
Just get the word out there that we exist.
Yeah, share with your mates.
Yep. Just send them a random message and just, put an episode in there.
Yeah, do it. Yeah, put this episode in there.
Yeah.
Put our drunk as fuck episode in there.
Yeah, just send them the drunk as fuck
They'll love
one.
that. I promise, they'll love it.
No regrets there.
No regrets.
Oh, God.
So many regrets.
Yeah. I know.
All right, we'll speak at ya next week.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye. This episode of Spooky Mountain was created and recorded on land of the original custodians, the Gundungurra and Bidjigal people. We pay respects to the past, present, and emerging mob. My name is Jordi, and I'm a proud Gunya woman. Thank you for listening.